You won't believe what happened to this 15-year-old on Halloween night. Two drunk women accused him of something he didn't do and forced him into shocking harassment. But the story takes a turn you'll never see coming. Stay tuned to find out how it ends, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more unbelievable true story moments. The morning of October 31st was electric. Aiden woke up with a buzz in his chest, a mix of excitement and anticipation he couldn't shake. 15 years old and already a Halloween veteran among his friends, he had been waiting for this day for weeks. Even the early morning chill couldn't dampen his energy as he got ready for school. Double-checking his costume in the mirror, a simple but sharp vampire outfit, complete with a black cape that he imagined fluttering dramatically behind him. At school, the excitement was contagious. Hallways buzzed with students discussing costumes, haunted houses, and the candy they hoped to collect that evening. Posters for the school's Halloween dance adorned the walls, and Aiden couldn't stop thinking about the night ahead. During homeroom, he and Kevin huddled together over a scrap of notebook paper. Their planning had become almost a ritual. "Okay, first stop has to be the Johnsons," Kevin said, eyes wide. "They always give full-sized candy bars, and their yard is insane. Fog machines, skeletons, giant spiders." "We can't miss it," Aiden nodded, feeling the excitement climb higher in his chest. "Yeah, and Mrs. Thompson's next. Remember last year? The animatronic zombie jumped out, and we nearly fell over. We have to do it again." Their friends gathered around, adding suggestions, marking houses on the neighborhood map, and debating which costume combinations would scare people the most. Aiden laughed at Kevin's idea of dressing as a ghost duo with matching sheets. Simple, but terrifying when combined with fake chains and glow-in-the-dark paint. The group's chatter was full of energy, teasing, and laughter. For Aiden, these moments were just as much a part of Halloween as the candy. By the time the school day ended, Aiden was practically bouncing as he walked home. The sidewalks were littered with crisp leaves crunching underfoot, and the air smelled faintly of autumn smoke and pumpkins. He imagined the sun setting, the sky turning a deep orange and purple, and the streets filling with costumed kids. The excitement made his steps lighter and faster, as though he could already feel the night stretching endlessly before him. Taking a shortcut through a narrow alley, Aiden's mind was still on Kevin and their route. But then he noticed something that made his heart skip. A pair of figures huddled in the shadows. Brittany and Emily, the two older girls from his neighborhood, were there. Their clothes left little to the imagination, and their posture toward a younger child nearby immediately set off alarms in Aiden's mind. The girls were leaning on the kid, teasing, their laughter harsh and unnerving. Something about the scene felt wrong, far beyond normal Halloween mischief. Aiden felt a rush of fear and responsibility at once. He could not let the girls continue. Taking a deep breath, he stepped forward and shouted, "Hey! Stop that! Leave them alone!" The shout echoed through the alley, sharp and urgent. Brittany and Emily whipped their heads toward him, surprised. Emily slurred, "Mind your own business, kid. I'm not going to let you scare or hurt them." Aiden yelled again, louder, his voice carrying more confidence than he felt. The commotion drew attention. Shadows moved in the windows above, and footsteps echoed as neighbors came to investigate. Realizing they had been caught, Brittany and Emily panicked. With slurred insults and a few stumbling steps, they bolted, disappearing down the alley before anyone could confront them further. The younger kid ran to Aiden, eyes wide, but relieved. "Thanks," the child whispered. Aiden nodded, chest still racing, relief and pride mixing in a strange, dizzying way. He realized that courage didn't always mean strength. It meant standing up when it counted. Even if you were scared, by the time Aiden made it home, the adrenaline had worn off slightly, leaving a lingering sense of unease. He closed the front door behind him and found his mom in the kitchen, sipping coffee and glancing at the morning news. "Mom, something happened on my way home," Aiden began, recounting the alley incident, his voice low but earnest. His mom listened carefully, eyes widening slightly at the mention of the girl's behavior. When he finished, she pulled him into a reassuring hug. "Aiden, you did exactly the right thing. You stayed calm, you protected that kid, and you got help. You're brave. You're a hero." Her words settled over him like a warm blanket. For a moment, he felt safe again, proud and validated. The Halloween morning excitement had transformed slightly, infused now with the knowledge that doing the right thing sometimes carried real risk, and that courage mattered as much as fun. Aiden nodded, holding on to his mom's words. He felt ready, more than ever, for the night ahead. Halloween was still coming, with its candy, decorations, and thrills, but now it carried a new layer of meaning. He had done the right thing, and that mattered even more than any candy haul. The sun had finally dipped below the horizon, leaving the streets bathed in twilight. Orange and purple streaks stretched across the sky, and the air was alive with the crisp scent of fall leaves and pumpkin spice. Inside his room, Aiden couldn't sit still. The excitement that had built throughout the day boiled over as he pulled on his Halloween costume, a simple ghost outfit, white sheet draped loosely over him with eye holes cut out. It was classic, but perfect for a night of trick-or-treating with Kevin. He checked himself in the mirror, adjusting the sheet so it didn't drag on the floor. "This is going to be epic," he muttered to himself, grinning. Kevin had texted him to meet at the end of the street. Their plan was to hit the neighborhood in the order they had mapped earlier, starting with the Johnsons' yard. Aiden's heart raced with anticipation, the thrill of candy, spooky decorations, and laughter making every movement feel faster, lighter, more alive. Stepping outside, the streets were already buzzing. Kids ran past in elaborate costumes, witches, superheroes, tiny monsters, and even a few homemade robots. Aiden waved at a group of younger kids with glowing masks, feeling the joy of the night. This was Halloween at its best, chaotic, fun, and just a little scary. As he hurried toward Kevin's street, weaving past clusters of kids and parents, he almost didn't notice the two figures lounging in the shadows of a dimly lit alley. Brittany and Emily, the same girls from earlier that morning. Their revealing outfits left little to the imagination, and their posture toward the night's passers-by was brazen and provocative. Aiden's stomach tightened. He had hoped to avoid them entirely, but fate had other plans. He tried to skirt around them, keeping his eyes on the sidewalk ahead, but his momentum carried him into the two girls again, brushing against them accidentally. "Watch where you're going, kid," Brittany snapped, her slurred words dripping with mock outrage. Emily's lips curled into a mischievous smile. "Oh, we remember you. Little hero from the alley, huh? Think you can just walk by us?" Aiden froze. The playful fear from earlier that morning returned, stronger now. This time, there was no child to protect. He was alone, vulnerable, and in their sights. The girls were drunk, reckless, and clearly looking for revenge. Brittany leaned in closer, her hand brushing against his arm under the guise of pointing at his costume. Emily stepped to the side, blocking his path. "You really should make it up to us," she teased, her tone dripping with suggestion. "You wouldn't want anyone to think you're..." Disrespectful, Aiden's heart raced. He knew what they were implying. Their teasing was deliberate, awkward, humiliating, and slightly sexual in nature, designed to intimidate him and force him into doing things he didn't want. He stepped back, trying to put distance between them. I didn't mean to bump you. I'm sorry," he stammered, voice shaking. "Oh, you're going to show us," Brittany said, leaning closer again, laughing softly. "You'll prove it." Emily circled him, brushing past his shoulder and laughing. "Yeah, little ghost. Make it right, or we'll tell everyone what a troublemaker you are." Aiden's pulse pounded. Every instinct screamed at him to run, but they moved to block him at every turn, making escape nearly impossible. The Halloween streets, full of laughter and lights just moments ago, now felt like a maze of danger. His mind raced. How could he get out of this? He had already done the right thing once, earlier that day. But now, the girls weren't just reckless. They were vindictive. They were testing his courage, trying to humiliate him, and there was no adult in sight. He took a deep breath, trying to steady himself, his ghost sheet fluttering slightly as he shifted weight from foot to foot. Every laugh, every teasing glance from Brittany and Emily made him shrink inward, wishing the night could return to the carefree excitement it had been. The alley seemed to close in around him, shadows lengthening with the streetlights, the distant sounds of trick-or-treaters drowned out by the girls' mocking voices. The night, once full of fun and candy, had transformed into a tense trap. Aiden knew he couldn't stay here forever. The girls weren't just drunk, They were daring him to react, to panic, to make a mistake. The tension was electric, each moment stretching endlessly as he considered his next move. Somewhere in the back of his mind he hoped for help, but there was none yet. This was his challenge, his test. And the Halloween night that had started with excitement, laughter, and candy was now a battle of nerves, cunning, and courage against two girls who were determined to get their revenge. The night had fully fallen, painting the suburban streets in deep shades of purple and orange. Streetlights flickered, casting long shadows over sidewalks strewn with fallen leaves. For most kids, Halloween was about laughter, candy, and spooking friends. But for Aiden, 15, the evening had taken a dark turn. His ghost costume, a simple white sheet with eye holes, felt heavier than usual. What had once been playful and fun now clung to him like a shroud, almost suffocating in its weight. Every rustle of leaves, every distant shriek made him flinch, his nerves taut. The excitement of earlier, the laughter of school friends, the planning with Kevin, was replaced by a gnawing tension. Ahead of him, two figures emerged from the shadows, Brittany and Emily. The same girls from earlier that morning, now clad in revealing, provocative outfits that left little to the imagination. Their drunken laughter carried across the empty street, echoing ominously. The alley between two houses felt narrower suddenly, like the world had constricted around him. Brittany's eyes locked onto him first, a grin wide and cruel. Well, if it isn't our little hero," she slurred, swaying slightly as she leaned against a lamppost. Emily circled behind, tilting her head and letting her gaze linger in a way that made Aiden's skin crawl. His stomach churned. Every instinct screamed at him to turn, to flee, but his path was partially blocked. The girls were no longer just careless. They were seeking revenge. The morning encounter in the alley had left a mark, and now they wanted to humiliate and intimidate him. Aiden swallowed hard, gripping the edges of his ghost sheet. "Please, just leave me alone," he stammered, his voice shaky but firm. Brittany stepped closer, brushing his arm under the pretense of gesturing at his costume. "Oh no, little ghost," she said, voice dripping with mock sweetness. "You bumped into us, and you're going to make it right. Don't you want to prove you're brave?" Emily laughed, leaning against the wall so she blocked part of his path. "Yeah, show us you're not just a hero in the daylight, huh?" Her words were playful but loaded, teasing and invasive. Aiden's chest tightened. He tried to sidestep, but Emily shifted to match his movements. Brittany's laughter grew louder, almost musical in its cruelty. "You think you can just escape us?" she taunted. "Nope, you've got to play." The harassment escalated subtly but unmistakably. Brittany leaned slightly closer, brushing against his shoulder, causing him to flinch. Emily circled him like a predator, her hand nearly grazing his arm as she spoke. Their touches weren't violent, but they were deliberate, intimidating, and suggestive, a twisted game designed to make him feel small, trapped, and ashamed. Aiden's mind raced. His heartbeat thudded painfully in his chest. "Think, Aiden, think. You can't panic. You have to stay calm." He tried to keep his voice steady. I didn't mean to bump you. Please, just stop!" "Oh, we know you didn't," Brittany said, leaning closer, her perfume strong and overpowering. "But now it's our turn. You're going to make it up to us." "Don't be shy," Emily's giggle echoed in the alley. "Yeah, make it up. Don't be a coward, little ghost." She circled him again, and this time, her shoulder brushed his chest lightly. Aiden's breath hitched. He felt trapped. The weight of the ghost sheet, the darkness of the alley, the closeness of the girls, and their drunken energy all pressing down on him. His mind flashed to the younger kid he had protected earlier that day. He had acted bravely then. He could act bravely now. But fear made him hesitate. Every move he considered seemed blocked. Every potential escape route ended with one of the girls stepping into his path. His chest tightened, and he felt a shiver run down his spine. Then, through the dense tension of the night, a strong voice rang out. "Hey, back off!" Aiden's head snapped toward the sound. A man appeared at the entrance of the alley, tall and broad, moving with the certainty of someone who knew exactly what was happening. Daniel. His eyes swept the scene immediately, taking in Brittany and Emily's drunken postures and Aiden's small, trembling frame. "Step away from him. Now," Daniel commanded, voice low but forceful, vibrating with authority. The girls froze, their drunken bravado faltering. Brittany squinted at him, swaying slightly. Who are you?" she slurred, trying to regain control. "I'm the adult making sure no one gets hurt tonight," Daniel said sharply. He pulled out his phone, holding it as though he were ready to call the cops immediately. "Step back, now, or I call the police." Aiden felt a flicker of relief, but his nerves were still taut. He kept his distance from the girls, wringing his ghost sheet in his hands. He felt a mixture of fear and hope that finally someone could stop this. Brittany's eyes darted around, noticing the distant flashing lights of a police car approaching the street. Emily's grin faltered, replaced by panic. "No, we can't," Emily started, but the words trailed off as Daniel took a step closer, towering over both of them. "You heard me," Daniel said firmly. "Step back, both of you." The girls exchanged a glance, realizing they had underestimated the situation. Their drunken confidence collapsed as reality set in. They were about to face consequences. Brittany muttered something incoherent under her breath. Emily cursed, and together they bolted down the alley, stumbling over leaves and debris as they disappeared into the night. Aiden's knees felt weak as the tension drained from his body. He breathed heavily, the adrenaline still coursing through him. Daniel approached, crouching slightly to meet him at eye level. "Are you okay?" Daniel asked. His hand rested lightly on Aiden's shoulder, a reassuring presence. I think so," Aiden said, voice trembling but steadier now. "Thank you for coming," Daniel nodded. "You did everything right. You stayed calm, you didn't panic, and you didn't let them intimidate you into doing something wrong. That's brave, kid. Really brave." The distant wail of a siren grew louder, and soon the flashing lights of a police car bathed the street in red and blue. Officers arrived, taking Brittany and Emily into custody. They were still muttering slurred insults, their attempts at arrogance completely gone. Aiden watched silently, relief and pride flooding through him. Kevin ran up, waving his flashlight wildly. "Aiden, are you okay?" "What happened?" Aiden gave a small, shaky smile. "I'm fine. They tried to mess with me, but it's over now." The police confirmed the girls had been arrested for harassment and drunken behavior. Aiden felt a weight lift off his shoulders. The threat was gone. The night's excitement, once overshadowed by fear and tension, slowly returned. The glow of jack-o'-lanterns and the laughter of trick-or-treaters filled the streets again. Aiden realized that Halloween had given him more than candy and spooky fun. He had faced real fear and intimidation, and with courage and help at the right moment, justice had prevailed. His ghost sheet felt lighter now, a symbol not of fear but of resilience. The night air had finally settled into a calm rhythm. The distant laughter of trick-or-treaters drifted along the streets, mingling with the occasional rustle of leaves and the soft glow of jack-o'-lanterns. Aiden walked slowly now, his ghost costume flowing loosely around him, his steps lighter than they had been during the tense confrontation. The adrenaline had faded, replaced by a warm sense of relief and accomplishment. He glanced back toward the alley, now quiet and empty, save for the flickering shadows of streetlights. Brittany and Emily were gone, their threats and harassment over. The police had taken them into custody, and Aiden knew they wouldn't trouble anyone else that night, or any night soon. It was a victory, not just for himself, but for the principle of standing up to wrongdoing, no matter how intimidating it seemed. Kevin caught up with him a few steps later, panting and wide-eyed. "Aiden, man!" "I heard what happened. Are you okay?" Aiden smiled, a mixture of fatigue and pride evident on his face. "Yeah, I'm fine. It was scary for a bit, but Daniel showed up and the cops took care of them." "It's over," Kevin exhaled, clearly relieved. "Dude, you were so brave. I don't think I could have done what you did." Aiden shrugged modestly, his cheeks warm. "I just did what I had to. I didn't want anyone to get hurt." After a few more minutes of walking, the two friends finally arrived at Aiden's house. The familiar glow of the porch light, the warm smell of dinner, and the comfort of home wrapped around him like a protective blanket. Stepping inside, he was immediately greeted by his mom's worried but loving eyes. There you are. I was getting worried, she said, pulling him into a hug. Her embrace was strong and reassuring, the kind only a parent could give. Are you all right? What happened? Aiden recounted the events of the night, careful to describe the girl's harassment without letting the fear dominate his words. He spoke of their drunken behavior, the teasing, the intimidation, and finally, the arrival of Daniel and the police. His mom listened intently, her expression shifting from concern to pride as she realized the bravery her son had shown. Aiden, I am so proud of you, she said, holding his shoulders and looking him in the eyes. You faced a situation that could have been really scary, and you did the right thing. You protected yourself, you stayed calm, and you helped make sure no one else was hurt. That's courage, sweetheart. You're a hero tonight. Aiden felt a swell of emotion. The tension, the fear, the uncertainty, all of it melted into a warm, reassuring glow. His mom's words confirmed what he had felt deep inside, that doing the right thing mattered, even when it was hard or frightening. After a brief moment, his mom gave him a small nod and a smile. Now, go enjoy your Halloween. You've earned it. Aiden couldn't help but grin. The excitement that had been simmering all day returned, stronger now because he had faced real fear and come through it. He grabbed his candy bag and checked the streets outside, still alive with kids in costumes, laughter ringing through the air. Kevin waved from across the street, dressed as a pirate this time, his own bag full of candy. Together, the two friends set off into the night. The tension of the earlier encounter was now a distant memory, replaced by the thrill of Halloween, running from house to house, daring each other to ring the spookiest doorbells, laughing at fake ghosts and oversized spiders, and collecting as much candy as they could carry. The world felt lighter, brighter, and full of possibilities. Aiden walked with a renewed sense of confidence. He had faced fear, handled a difficult situation with courage, and come out stronger. The night wasn't just about costumes and candy anymore, it was about bravery, doing the right thing, and knowing that sometimes, even in the scariest moments, help could arrive just when it was needed most. As they rounded the corner toward the Johnsons' house, the front yard illuminated with fog and glowing pumpkins, Aiden felt a deep, satisfying sense of peace. Halloween was still full of thrills, laughter, and adventure, but he now carried with him the knowledge that he could face danger, protect himself and others, and still enjoy the magic of the night. The streets of his neighborhood continued to bustle with Halloween excitement. But for Aiden, it had become something more. It was a night of lessons learned, courage proven, and fun reclaimed. And as he and Kevin ran toward the next house, laughing and tossing candy into their bags, Aiden couldn't help but think, this was Halloween done right, exciting, spooky, and unforgettable.